Hi guys, welcome back. It's me, your girl Grace, alias Grey Grey. Yes, I come across a video on the internet about the American lady that helped Ekene Mewa. If you don't know the story, maybe I will insert the video at the end of this video so that you can watch it to the end. So this lady narrated how she helped Ekene in America and then how she turned up to, try to tarnish her image or something like that. That remind me, once immediately I watched that video, I could relate one-on-one. I could feel the pain that this lady felt or feeling. Because same thing happens to me here in Germany a few years ago. I'm going to share my story so that if you're out there planning to help someone, to accommodate someone in your home, in your house, in your space, you will think twice. Think twice so that you will not learn in a hard way. Some of us learn in a hard way. So use our own experience. Don't fall a victim. We have fallen a victim. So now we are sharing our experience so that you out there thinking about accommodating someone, you will not fall a victim. You will not learn in a hard way. So this thing happens to me a few years ago here in Germany. This lady, she came to Germany with a working visa, a 1-year working visa. So if you live in Germany, you know that after your 1-year working visa expired, and then the people that employ you did not renew the contract, you are to go back to your country. So this lady was in this condition, in this situation, and then the only way she could stay in Germany was for her to get someone to sign an accommodation letter for her. If someone else signed an accommodation letter for her, and then she take this accommodation letter to the authority, they will grant her visa to stay. So she came to me. Somebody actually introduced her to me. And they tell me, I'm like, no. Because every room in my house then, in my home, were occupied. So I said, no, I can't. I don't have a spare room. So now, I think 2 weeks, a week or 2 weeks before this lady's visa will expire completely, they came to me again because they know I was living in, I think, a 3-room apartment. So 3-room apartment in Germany is simply 2 bedroom, 1 living room and kitchen and toilet and all that. That's 3 room. But they were all occupied because my child was in one, I in one. So the other one, we use it as a living room. So there was no room. So now this, a week or 2 weeks to this guest visa expiring, she came to me again. I mean, the person that introduced her to me, they came again for the second time. And like, can't I adjust because my child was still very small then. And if I cannot adjust, they begged me because she was crying. And because she was like, if nobody signed this letter, they will return her to her country and she'll have to go back to her country. You know me now as a mother, and we know we women how emotional we could be. So I accommodated her. I said, okay, I will sign this accommodation letter. But then I gave her conditions because I cannot just allow a total stranger into my home without condition, without boundaries. So I told her, this is what you're going to do before you come in. This girl agreed to everything. She agreed to every condition that I gave. And this thing, I'm just smiling. This girl really dealt with me. Let me continue. So I told her, because if you live in Germany, you live alone. Even if you're paying €100 for heater and somebody came to live with you, if you are 2, you pay differently. If you're three, you pay differently. So the more people that live in an apartment, that is how increase your heaters, your electricity, everything will increase automatically. So I cannot allow you, because I know my budget. So if I allow you without you paying anything, at the end of the day, you will leave. By the time I receive the bill, I will not be able to pay. So and I told her, when you come in, this is what you're going to pay for like electricities and heater and something. So I gave her all the conditions and she agreed. And I make a big mistake, which you out there watching this video, do not make this mistake. I make a big mistake without putting it in a writing. I would have put it down. We will sign. So if you're planning to accommodate anyone, put it in writing, all the conditions, sign, and let the person sign. So I make the biggest mistake. I didn't put it in writing. So she agreed to all the conditions, and then I signed this letter for her. When I signed it, she took it to the authority, and they gave her visa. That was how she was allowed to stay in Germany. She moved into my house. I had to adjust my child's room. So I now take my child's things to my room. So at that moment, my child was not staying with me. We were not staying in the same bedroom, just for her to have her stay in Germany. So I adjust some kind. So she moved in. Immediately she moved in, everything we agree on, she was not doing it. Okay. I think in total she stayed up to 3 months, 3.5 months. I can't remember exactly, because this thing I'm talking about was a few years ago. So about 6 or 7 years ago now, this thing happened. So she stayed in total 3.5 months, and then she was paying for this electricity and heater. We call it heater. So she was paying, and then as she was paying, I was reminding her to be looking for an apartment, because she can. It's not conducive for, rather neither is it conducive for her nor for me. So it was just for me to sign that document for her to get her stay in Germany, and then she can start looking for apartment. So she started looking for apartment. So luckily for her, she found one. So that the very month she found one, she had already paid for electricity, and what she was paying for, she had already made the payment. And then she moved out. So when she moved out, she was demanding, because before she moved in, I asked her to pay a deposit, because if you live in Germany, it's normal. You cannot move into any house without paying a deposit. Even if it's just one room, you must pay a deposit, so that when you're leaving, it doesn't mean whether you stay a month or just one day. When you're leaving, they will come and check that room and see if everything is okay. If everything is okay, you get your money back. But if everything is not okay, they will use the money to repair what you have damaged. That's how it works. So I told her, you're going to pay a deposit, so that when you're leaving, I will check if you damage anything, I can repair that thing, because I didn't budget any money for damage made by others in my own house. So I told her, she agreed, and then she moved in. She didn't pay this damage. She didn't pay anything. Now, before I continue, you know that the people that brought her, the job she came to do in Germany, these people were supposed to renew her document, because these people went as far as bringing someone else. They didn't care about the time, the money, the stress. They brought in. It was okay for them to bring in another person, so that this lady will go back to her country. That was supposed to be a red light for me, but I didn't see that red light. I saw it, but I didn't see it as a red light, because if you're a good person, the people that employ you would have, renewed your contract, instead of bringing someone else to come and do the job you did for a whole year. You now have experience. According to JAMA, they love experience. You now that you have experience, you've been with them, they'll prefer to retain you than bringing a total stranger. But these people that accommodated her for 1 year were very okay with sending her back to where she came from than renewing her contract. That is a red light, but I didn't suspect. So when this lady moved out, that same week she moved out, she was demanding the money that she paid for that month. She was demanding it back. I'm like, even if I will pay you back anything, you have to wait for more year ending, because it is at the end of every year that you get all the expenses that you have, your payments for electricity, heater, everything. They calculated it. You will see your expenditure, what you spend and what you paid. If something is left, they will they will pay you back then. But if you spend more than you paid, you will have to pay more. So you get it every year, at the end of every year, if you live in Germany. So this lady was demanding for this money immediately she moved in. I'm like, that is not how it works in Germany. You have to wait at the end of the year. When I get the summary of what we spend and which month we spend it, and then she said, no, what nonsense. See this girl, hey, she totally changed. She did not only change, she started narrating me, as in she turned me to a bad person. Everybody she knows around me, she spoiled. She was trying to tarnish my image, saying all sorts of things. When someone says something about you, and it's true, it will not pain you, you dust it out. But when someone is lying, oh my God, what paid me most is that she narrated me, everybody will now see me as a bad person. I accommodated you. I accommodated her. Make the authority give them stay. She would have been her country. She didn't think of that. When you have good heart, people really, they try to, tread on you. Sometimes, I don't know why people that have good mind, they are the one that experience all this bad behavior. But if you're a good-hearted person out there, you're planning to accommodate people in your house, do not learn in a hard way. Learn from our own experience. So there's one major lesson I learned from this lady. Somebody hear this story, because where she was narrating me everywhere, telling people how bad I am, how I seize her money and refused to let her money, how I collected money from her from staying with me. So you are staying in, you want a free accommodation. I signed for you to stay in a country. As if that's not a big help enough. That's not a help. She didn't see that as help. She didn't even thank me. I don't care about that. But for you to pay me back, letting you to stay in this country, is you lying about me, saying all sorts of nonsense about me. The one that shocked me most, so she narrated the story to many people. So one very person invited us. She wants to hear both sides. People of wisdom, they would like to hear both sides, because they know that if you judge any matter hearing from one side, only one side, and you use it to judge matter, you never see anything. So this person invited both of us. And then he wanted to hear from both of us. And then he was like, what happened? This lady started first. And she was narrating. Did you believe that when this lady was narrating lies, she was crying? Hey! I got the shock of my life. Because growing up, I hardly cry. If you see me shed tears, you will know that thing touches me, touches my heart. So growing up, I have this belief that before someone can cry, maybe that person is saying the truth. But right from that day, through this lady, I learned that it's not everybody that shed tears when they are narrating story. It's not all of them that are saying the truth. So I say tears were gushing out of this lady's eyes while narrating the story, all the lies. And I thank God the person she was talking to knew that. I was shocked. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't. And thank God the person said, you know what? Because the person has a similar experience, I guess. The person said, you know what, Grace, don't say anything. You don't need to say anything. Because I couldn't say anything. I was shocked. Because when I heard that she was narrating what happened, I was thinking maybe what happened is what she's narrating. But by the time two of us were now called into a room to narrate what she narrated, that was how I discovered that she was literally just tarnishing my image, saying all wrong, all sorts of things about me that was not true. So the disappointment was so huge, and she was still crying while sharing this story. So I learned a big lesson that day. Starting from that day, through this lady, I know that never will I see someone crying, and because of their tears, you will think that they are saying the truth. A lot of people share crocodile tears. I learned a big lesson because they say some people come into your life. If bad people come into your life, they are there to teach you lesson. You learn a lot. I learned a lot from this lady. She's still in Germany today. She's not from Nigeria, but I will not mention the country she's from because I don't want to sound as if I'm against some particular people from other African country. Because this lady, Ekene, is from Nigeria. So this lady that helped her also is also from Nigeria. So bad eggs are everywhere. So the disappointment is very huge. If you have never helped someone before and the person turn you, at the end of the day, turn you to a bad person, you will not understand the pain. You will not know the gravity of the atrocity these people are committing. They will literally try to tarnish your image. Because, I don't want this video to be too long. I'll stop here. But if you're planning to help someone, especially accommodation. I've not heard about people that accommodate strangers and it ends well. If there is, I'm not saying there is none, because the whole world, I can't say there is none. There is, but it's rare. It's rare. So don't learn in a hard way like us. So thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. And a big thank you to all my subscribers that have stayed. It's been a while. I've come here. You people didn't unsubscribe. People stay there waiting. Say this lady will come back. A big thank you to all of you. Love you all.